Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to a game that I just didn't record. I thought I'm recording it, but I didn't press the right button. Whatever. I screwed up, so I had to use the replay. But the game in itself was really nice. It was in realistic battles, and I have, things to talk about regarding the battle that you currently see. Now, this is my first video of 2017, and well, Happy New Year to everybody. May it be the best year that you will ever have, hopefully. And it begins that I'm today talking about the Winter Marathon. Now, I've mentioned the Winter Marathon previously in my first impressions video regarding the Type 60 and the STA-1, which are actually not that bad. And I said, well, it's kind of strange and something, but I want to explain to you guys, where the pros and cons of this event are. And there are several things that I want to get into conjunction, because one separate aspect doesn't cut it to be explained. Okay. First, what is this Winter Marathon about? Well, it is the time of the year where a lot of people have time, Christmas time and New Year's time. All around the world, people normally have a lot of time or more time than usual in the year to do things, they're mostly in holidays and so on. So they have the most potential time, let's call it that way, to actually play these events. And there is good reason, because it takes a while. It takes a while to finish them. Now, what are the rewards? We have 2 planes and 2 tanks that you can win. We have the USA Rank 2 LVT CIS-2. Highly interesting vehicle. I really want to have it. And you need 6 stages to get it. Then the Type 62 is a Soviet Rank 4 vehicle. I'm really interested how this works out, how the 85mm gun is implemented. I've had high hopes for it. And the next things are the planes. And we have Japan Rank 1, the Ki 21 High. It looks like most of the Japanese medium bombers or twin-engine bombers, but it's here celebrated as having no dead zone or blind zone in the defensive armament from the rear. So yeah, we will see how it works out. And then the one with 10 tasks that you have to fulfill is the Me-262 A2A Sturmvogel, which is obviously a German rank 5 vehicle. It is a reward jet, so to speak. It is furthermore stated that it does have just 2 30mm, and the other 2 got swapped out in trade-off for carrying bombs. I'm not sure if for a normal vehicle this would be worth it, but me as a collector, I want to have it. I want to have it. And not just because it's German, but because it is a reward vehicle, and I want them all. Now about those tasks. There are more available, and you can miss some of them for numerous reasons. Now, one time frame for one task is 2 days, and that is great in my opinion. We had the last year's Winter Marathon, and that was a bit more hectical in my opinion. Now, 2 days per task is great if you're just going for the tanks or just the planes. If you go for both, it's still doable in my opinion without too much effort, but I will talk about this later. Now, I know those events are running, like we are now halfway through. The day that I'm recording this is the day that the 5th task ended, so to speak. And, why I make this is, there's a specific reason. Initially, I didn't want to make a video about this because there are also bad things to say, and it has nothing to do with trying to avoid criticism on Gaijin. No. When you later hear the arguments, you will understand why, hopefully. Now, I have to really hasten to add that there is the link in the video description for the dev blog, and it is not too late. Still, you can make a lot of tasks, in the given time, and you still can buy the tasks that you missed in the in-game shop, and that will bring us to the argument, or one of the arguments of this discussion, and that is obviously you have to invest a lot of time. But on the other hand, it is free stuff. I'm not sure which of them will be having the true premium status or not, or if you have to grind them through, whatever. Last year's reward vehicles, if I'm not mistaken, were the I-301 and the M8A1. And in my opinion, both vehicles are serious seal clubbers, but both of them are rank 1. And I think the selection of reward vehicles this time is not just wider, it's like double that. They are also of higher rank. So if they get the premium status, they will serve you well as grinding vehicles. At least the Type 62 and the ME262 Sturmvogel. By the way, Sturmvogel means storm bird. So kind of self-explaining. Now, it is purchasable, every task, for 1,000 golden eagles. And you need 10 tasks for each the tank and the plane to get all of them. So it's like, overall, if you don't want to play it and you just want to purchase it, that's 20,000 golden eagles. That's like 100 euros. That seems very expensive, and in my opinion, to a certain degree, rightfully so. First of all, I want Gaijin to earn money so that they can continue developing the game. Developing this free-to-play title will never be finished, and I hope for more content. Not just ships, but we hope for additional tanks to fill the gaps, or to, by implementing new vehicles, they can theoretically expand the battle ratings and then bring back balance to the game. Or more balance to the game, to be honest with you. And it is your question. It is a question for you personally. If first of all you have the time to do this, and if it is worth for you. Now, I stated that I'm a collector, and despite having the majority of vehicles, I'm just missing out the last few Japanese tanks. I want them. And I will review them for sure. So you can expect a review on the LVT CIS2 like in 2 days or tomorrow, as this video goes live, if nothing unexpected happens. And I'm really interested in how this vehicle will work out. But what about the problems? I've said there are problems. Well, first of all, the victory conditions. A good thing is that there are, for each day, there are 5 victory conditions, let's call them that. So 5 conditions, of which you just have to fulfill 3 to get the task done. Today, the 1st of January, Gaijin did us a great favor by just saying, okay, just 2 have been fulfilled, which was very convenient for me, as I had a long trip after me for celebrating the New Year's. Now, that is good and that is bad. Why? Well, 2 of those victory conditions are relatively okay, but the other ones can be very frustrating. Now, I want to give you also a bit of a rundown what you can do and how to do it, and it might be a little bit surprising for you, and that also brings us to the point back why I made the video now, not at the very first day. A few arguments might have been said already, or you might have figured them out, but some of you are a bit curious, how can I, make those tasks lighter? And I have to say, I hope that Gaijin changes something, but now after half of the marathon is over, it's kind of a bit late to expect something like this. So I'm coming right to it. The first victory condition is that you destroy 40 player-controlled enemy vehicles, and both those tasks go for the planes and the tanks in the very same way. 40 player-controlled enemy vehicles in the event. Now, this can be just fulfilled in the event. That's another argument that I want to bring up afterwards. And that seems like a lot. And I have to agree. On the other hand, this is not the very first that you should focus on. Now, 40 player controlled enemy vehicles for the tankers and 30 for the planes. And there is a ×2 multiplier for realistic battles and ×3 for simulator battles. So in theory, if you play simulator, you just have to shoot down, let's say, 10 enemy planes, and you have that one victory condition to be done. Then there is gain supporting fire achievements 5 times in battles, assists in destroying enemy vehicles whilst in a squad. That is 5 times for tanks and 4 times for pilots. There is no multiplier for realistic and no multiplier for simulator battle. Don't do it. Do everything else, but don't do this. It takes ages. If you have good friends that you trained this with, sure, do it. But for the normal players, this is highly frustrating. 5 or 4 doesn't sound a lot, but I wanted to fulfill it once, and it took me and a bunch of my friends, namely X and Delta, 4 hours just to get the last 2 supporting fire achievements. That is, in my opinion, right out disgusting. Because you have to shoot the enemy first, and then your buddy has to kill it while being in the approximate area. And that is overall a bit difficult. So then the next conditions is earn 2017 or more score 5 times in battles, 2 times for RB and SB. So that means you have to earn 2017 points, score points, in a battle. No activity or winning conditions or something applied. But there is a multiplier if for realistic and simulators of ×2. So you have to just do it 3 times in RB and SB. That is doable easily with planes. With tanks, there is a little tip and trick. Because with tanks, you struggle very often to get the points. Very often you end the battle with 1,500 score points and that. But with planes you easily exceed 2, 3, 4,000 easily. Just by strafing the enemy, hitting planes multiple times, especially with machine gun fire, gives enormous amounts of score points. And so when you go into, for example, this is the biggest tip, play tank RB, the combined arms, and then go in with a plane, destroy the enemy's air superiority, or the attempt to gain it. Strafe a few tanks, maybe bomb some of them. Then you have the overview of the battlefield, and then you go into a tank. And it is very important that this counts just for the one vehicle type that you end the battle in. And that is very easy to manage your victory streaks, which is the 4th victory conditions. Get 3 wins in a row with a minimum activity of 70% in tanks and 60% in pilots. And then the next thing is get 10 wins overall with a minimal activity of 70% for a tanker and 10 wins with a minimal activity of 60% for a planes. That is a lot. And so you actually can manage the 3 wins in a row, because let's say you want to do it for the tanks, right? You get into the battle with a tank. Your team loses, but you have already won 2 battles before that. But you don't want to do it all again. There is a mean trick, and that is that you jump into an aircraft and end the battle in the aircraft. And so the 2 wins in a row for the tanks are frozen because you obviously switched to planes. Okay, this is why you have to switch to tanks RB. Just in tanks RB, maybe even in tank SB, I'm not sure about this. This is the given possibility. So keep that in mind. This is a way to rig the system in a way. It's not very nice. It explains why people just refuse to get out of their planes into tanks to try to win the battle. Very often you see deliberate misplay by players. And that brings me back to the problem that I have with this kind of winter marathon. players really have those reward planes and tanks in front of them. They want to get them. They probably expect that some of them might be as shield clubby as the I-301 and the M8A1 from the previous winter marathon, or something like that. So they just go for those winning conditions. They leave everything out, every comradeship, every friendliness. They leave out everything because they just want to get over it. And you have to do it overall at least 10 times. You know, you have to do it nearly for 3 weeks. That's a lot. That is indeed a lot of time that you have to invest. Not everybody wants to do it or wants to invest that much time. Now, I can say, yeah, just purchase them for free. Yeah, but purchasing a reward vehicle, you know, and then if you like, how much are they worth? I can't say, okay, they're worth 4,000 golden eagles, so it's okay if you spend like 3,000. I don't know, you know. And at the end of the day, it's your decision. The bad thing is I can't give you a review on those vehicles because I have to earn them myself. I gladly would have reviewed them like 2 weeks before the winter marathon started, or that day, or released a video that day the winter marathon began, so people could look up if it is worth. I know, shameless self-advertisement and whatever, yada yada yada. But, you know, people actually buying the cat in the sack, as you say in Germany, which is kind of a weird term, but you get the point. You don't know what you're actually working for. Sure, you can look at the LVT CIS 2 and say, that's like a CIS 30 on a LVT. That must be good. But the actual stats, how much ammunition, how much penetration does the gun have, which ammunition does it actually have, and so on. For the Type 62, I'm not sure how the 85mm gun behaves, how useful it is, which penetration with which kind of ammunition it does have, how durable the Ki 21 is, how good is it at bombing, how good are the advertised bombs on the Me262 A2A Sturmvogel. I can't tell you anything. If you are a collector like I am, you don't ask those questions, you just go for it. And so at the end of the day, I can't really give you tips and tricks how to overcome the frustrating part, except if you have a big wallet. But, you know, I'm not saying, yeah, get your wallet and pay it. No, 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 no. There are ways to do it. I did it myself as well up until this point. What I got for was I tried to do the 3 times in a row, first with tanks, and I could switch to planes to make this as easy as possible, right? And I could do the same for planes as well. And so it is a very good opportunity to control this and make it as effective, but that just plays to tank RP. If you would have asked like myself a year ago, how would you do this kind of event? I would never have considered, you know, playing tank RP, but it offers you the great possibility of switching between planes and tanks and freeze your progress, so to speak, so you don't get reset. Because 10 wins overall, that takes a lot of time, and you have to do the activity. Same goes for the 3 wins in a row, but if you win, you're mostly always have a good activity, and I don't want to throw away games. 2017 points is easy with planes, in my opinion, but then with tanks you have to first get into a plane to do it. Overall, you can do it technically in 3 battles for each vehicle if you do it right. I highly recommend do it with your friends, you know, to support each other. You know, maybe you can do the tasks together in such a way that one is going for this condition while the other one goes for that one, and so on. So for the for supporting fire, if you really want to do it, just do it with somebody that already has you know, that still needs kills, so to speak, because certain conditions are fulfilled by themselves, like the destroy enemy controlled or player-controlled vehicles. That's rather done by itself, in my opinion. And when you have a game like I have currently, you know, I did my kills up until this point. And it also was the last battle in a row of 3 that I had to win. So I didn't want to give up. So I hope you found some useful informations. If you found them, let me know if it has helped you. If you have additional tips and tricks, let me know in the comment section as well. It might just, help people to get the last few tasks if they are just interested in the Kia 21 or the LVT TIS 2. They just need 6 instead of 10 tasks. So, and also let me know about, that there are the possibilities to rig the system, so to speak. I don't like to do it, but, I don't want to waste my time. And that's the next part. Because when I play this event, I get silver lines, I get research points, but I'm far beyond the vehicles that you use in them, so I literally don't grind anything with it, okay? Especially because not every nation is always there. For example, today, you can't play Russian vehicles. You also can't play Japanese tanks in this respect. So, there is always a downside. And your normal grind actually comes to a screaming halt. So it is not really nice. I think it is a nice idea to have this Chronicles of the Second World War. It's a great idea as an event series. But that you have to play it, and that, this is the purest form of realistic lineup, so to speak. I mean, it's debatable. Yeah, sure, this vehicle, you didn't find any battle record of this vehicle being there, or that one was just a small proportion and now it gets spammed out because obviously it's the more competitive tank or plane in this respect. There is always a downside. You never can satisfy everybody. That is not possible for me, that is not possible for you, and it's certainly not possible for Gaijin. I think, what can we make better? Well, I think it would be really nice if some of the victory conditions, or the conditions that you let complete one of the tasks, can be done outside. For example, the kills. It would be not too bad if just the kills would get outside, because not everybody does have a 6, 7, 10, 12 kill match, and can do it. Some of the players are playing, just arcade, and that is fine. Certainly I am somebody that supports that. And so if you have tips and tricks how to do it, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this event. Do you think it is kind of greedy from Gaijin, or that, as I think, it is a good opportunity to get your hands on free stuff? And let me know what you think about the player's decision, the quality of the gameplay, because that was not the highest. Not because people are dumb, stupid, or are blind, but because they want to deliberately fail if they see their team do, but they do it in planes rather than in tanks, because they want to freeze their progress, as I described it. Let me know it. Anyway, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the video and what I wanted to tell you about the Winter Marathon. If so, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.